Howdy folks, greetings to somewhere in the countryside. I don't know where I am right now, but I got a couple of hours between my next delivery and I was just sitting there thinking 2020 Britain is a pretty sad and depressing place, isn't it? I think everyone kind of agrees that Britain is down the pan at the moment. It doesn't even matter where you sit on the political spectrum, is it? Everyone can agree that 2020's Britain is a pretty depressing place to be. We're all skint. We're all arguing with each other. It's sad. So that also got me thinking, like, when was peak Britain? When was Britain at its peak? I reckon it was probably 90s, 2000s was when Britain was truly at its peak. You know, people in the 90s, you'd start your day with the big breakfast, right? Energetic, fun, exciting, positive. The most key thing there, positive. People were just more positive back in those days. I mean, how do people start their day now? BBC Breakfast News. What a sad, depressing place that is. Just wake up every morning, find out which politician has screwed us over today. You know, in the 90s, the 2000s, everyone was just so much more positive, wasn't it? Even when you think of like your stand-up comedians around that time, you had your Lee Evans, your Peter Kays and stuff that were fun, exciting, positive. Now, stand-up comedians are depressingly joking about politics and the state of the world. It's sad, isn't it? It's sad. And people just had a bit more money in their pocket back then as well, in the 90s and the 2000s. I mean, I distinctly remember I moved out of home when I was 18 in around 2002. Me and my friend got a 2-bedroom flat in the middle of the town where we lived, Worthing, and we were both working pretty much minimum wage jobs at Madhouse. Remember Madhouse in the 90s? Little clothing store, used to do Levi jeans, Wrangler jeans, Ben Sherman shirts and stuff. We had a full-time job there, pretty much minimum wage, and we could afford a 2-bedroom flat in the middle of the town. We could afford a 2-bedroom flat. We could afford to go out at the weekend. We could afford to go to concerts, to music festivals, even the odd holiday abroad at Amsterdam or Greece or Turkey. You know, everyone had a bit more money in their pocket, didn't it? Everyone was more positive. Everyone was happier. Even the sort of early days of social media was more positive and happier, wasn't it? When you think back to Facebook, like the early days of Facebook, it was a bit fun, wasn't it? You poke each other, you know, you just post some photos of your holidays or your nights out or something. You post stupid comments like, I went to buy broccoli today, or just some absolute nonsense. No one was arguing with each other. You know, no, that didn't happen back then. And that brings me on to the final point of politics. No one was arguing about politics 24/7 in the 90s, were they? Jesus, I mean, if you brought up politics in the pub, you'd be ostracised. Oh, Dave, you boring prick. Why are you bringing up politics, you boring twat? Go yeah, that would be the reaction. But now, I think pretty much every single pub in Britain is talking about Nigel Farage right now. And I guess that all sort of started with Brexit, really, isn't it? I mean, regardless of where you sit on that topic, that was sort of the time where the country went, right, we're going to put a wedge down the middle. You've all got to pick a team, and then you're going to spend about a year arguing with each other. All of the media will be just obsessed with you guys arguing with each other. The newspapers, social media, TV would just be obsessed with this issue for about a year, and you'll all have to pick a team and you'll all have to argue with each other. And then when the vote finally gets done, we'll continue for about another 5 years arguing about how it's going to be implemented. That was the real time, I think, where this whole country just got obsessed with politics. And then, of course, COVID came. And, you know, the start of COVID seemed quite positive, wouldn't it? Maybe this will be the time where we unite and we help each other out and we get the shopping for the Doris down the road or something. But then that quickly descended into arguing as well, didn't it? You know, anti-vaxxers versus vaxxers, anti-lockdown versus lockdown. We're all just arguing with each other. And then, of course, war in Ukraine, war in Palestine, inflation, everyone's skin. And then that's when the toxic politics come out and the rioting and the protests, and it's just descended on and on and on. I mean, when you look at Britain now compared to Britain of the 90s, the vast contrast between the two is just, it's crazy. But I guess this always happens, doesn't it? Like the stock market in general, sort of up and down, up and down, up and down. But then every sort of 100 years, you get a drastic change, which is kind of what we're seeing now with COVID and the inflation. And, you know, it feels like the same process that happened in the Great Depression in the early part of the century. And then, of course, what comes from that. The same things we're seeing right now, right? People getting skint, then people get angry, people get radically politicized, and then they start rioting on the streets, and then you see fascism and communism and war. We're seeing it unfold. It's crazy, isn't it? But this tends to happen every sort of 100 years, and I guess that's where I will take the positives from it to finish on this video, because I like to finish positive. This is just a cycle of life, isn't it? This is what happens. You get periods of stability and peace for periods of time. I guess it sort of stems with when the world powers are clashing, aren't we? So we're sort of seeing the decline of the US now and the rise of China, and what comes with it is war and arguments and politicise and all the stuff that we're seeing now. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. And I think I've always seen the emergence of AI as a positive thing for the future. I think going forward with the emergence of AI, more and more jobs will be taken by AI, and you know, there will inevitably have to have some sort of large tax on businesses that are taking away jobs from people and putting them on AI, and there will have to be some sort of universal basic income. The government will have to give us the basics. We'll have to have shelter and food, and we'll be free to explore other revenues of income and interest. I just think AI makes universal basic income inevitable. That's what I see the future. I'm babbling and going off topic here a little bit. Topic of the video was prime Britain, and it had to be the 90s and the 2000s. I guess everyone looks back fondly on their sort of early years. I guess every generation does that. I mean, my 20s were in the 2000s. So you're always going to look back fondly on that period. But I think without question, that was sort of peak Britain, wasn't it? Give me your thoughts down below, folks. Please let me know. Do you agree? Do you think the 80s were better? Maybe you were in your 20s in the 80s. I was born in the 80s, went to school in the 90s, but was actually a full-fledged adult in the 2000s. And, you know, when you look back at life in the 2000s compared to now, it's like we're living in a different world, isn't it? It really is. Anyway, folks, till next time, take care. Please, if you enjoyed the video, give us a like, give us a subscribe, because I'm trying to grow the channel and it really helps push it out to other people that might enjoy this video. Till next time, take care.